A brand new poll out, ladies and gentlemen. Trump versus Kamala. Dun, dun, dun. What do you think? This is interesting. He's way ahead of her. He's way ahead. I mean, listen, anything can happen in politics, and I don't think you count your chickens before they hatch. You know, I'm very alarmed by everything they're doing, and I think we have a lot of reasons to be concerned. But a little bit of good news here for you. Yep, he's leading 48% to 45%, 7% still undecided. But this is a brand new Harvard-Harris poll, Harris no relation, and he's leading. You know what? You wouldn't know that by looking at all the media stories. Now, would you? You'd have no idea, because it seems like every single time I get another headline on my phone, it's about how great Kamala's doing. Granted, I mean, they were on the Titanic before. I mean, poor Joe Biden, right? Like nobody even knew if he was going to make it until November. And so there was certainly some concern, and the media fed that concern, in part because they were trying to push him out, right? So it was a very orchestrated campaign. Don't kid yourself for 2 seconds. Barack Obama behind a lot of that, talking in the ear, along with his disciples, you know, like the guy who ran his campaign and a few others, in the ears of some of those CNN anchors, really pushing for him to go. And so eventually they got their way. And now they're just going to ride this all day. Oh, isn't Kamala doing great, 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 great? Except she's not. She's not. She's still behind. And we need to hope it stays that way. I mean, I hope it stays that way because I care so much about this country and our policy and our economic policy specifically. And I think that this woman would be an absolute train wreck. I can say that with full confidence. Listen, it's another reason why you need to go to 76 Research. I'm going to put the link actually in the show notes so that you have that. Use code word dollar. Go to 76report.com or go to 76research.com. Go and click on the 76 report and use that code word dollar because you get it for just $1 a month for the first 2 months. Introductory rate, it goes to like $9.95 after. I'm telling you, it's the best $9.95 you've ever spent because you've got to be investing right now. You've got to. I'm going to sound like Susie Orman or one of those after a while. I don't mean to sound like that, and I'm not your mother, but you do need to be invested in the markets because that is how you're going to have a chance at actually creating something in this time when, I do worry that you're going to have increasingly the have and have-nots. You've heard me talk about this hourglass economy. Kamala Harris is all about the hourglass economy. She wants to help everyone on the bottom with tons and tons of promises. And, of course, everybody on top, right, because they're getting her where she needs to go. But what happens to the middle? The middle gets squeezed and squeezed and squeezed. So it would be a very bad thing, in my estimation, if Kamala Harris were to win this. And it's really encouraging to see she's not ahead in the polls yet. In fact, I showed you one the other day that's really pretty insightful. And granted, again, anything could change, but it's a look at young people, 18 to 35. And guess what? Trump's ahead. Big time in that crowd. I can't remember if it's 15 or 18 points, but massively ahead of Kamala Harris because young people don't like her. So she can go with the vomit green and black colors. Yeah, those are her campaign colors. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, it's like the poster for Wicked, the Broadway show. You've got vomit green and black. Those are, so much for red, white, and blue. We don't need to be America anymore, apparently. Kamala Harris is in charge. So she's got some policies that I think would be pretty detrimental to the country from an international perspective, from a border perspective. Clearly, we've already seen her lousy job on the border. And then, of course, certainly from an economic standpoint. Anyway, that's, not what the left thinks. The left thinks that Donald Trump is going to absolutely ruin the world and steal the country and democracy, this, that, and the other. Forget about the fact that what just went down there? I'd call that a good old-fashioned coup. Yeah, a big old coup. But, hey, I'm just a traditionalist. I've seen Venezuela and I've seen the United States of America with Barack Obama in the background telling Joe it's time to go. It's time to go. The word on the street, and this is not just my word from my sources, but this has been printed everywhere, okay? So go look it up, is that Barack Obama threatened the 25th Amendment. So they circled the wagons until he eventually left. And he did. They wore him down. They got him out. A la a coup, right? It's like we're full on Banana Republic. Now this team, this lefty team run by Obama, that's slipping in Kamala Harris. They realize they get a problem because you know what? Men don't like her. I mean, women don't really like her either. Young people don't like her. African Americans don't like her. Nobody likes her. So they get a little bit of a problem. Granted, she's not Joe, and people aren't worried about her dying before November comes around. Sorry. But, you know, it is what it is.